Sean and Ben in the zone, talking Notre Dame football beneath the golden dome. Blue and gold forever, the passion only grows. Welcome to the Irish Brothers Show, and here we go!
What's up, everyone? I am Sean Moerity of the rebranded The Irish Brothers Show, and you guys know the drill. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe tab, like or dislike the video, which helps with algorithm purposes, and make sure you hit that bell icon so you're always notified of when new content is uploaded on this channel. Also, I know this is a mouthful of an intro here, but we have freshly new made Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter/X, and so on. We'll have all of that posted in the description box below. Make sure you guys go check out every single one of those sites and follow us on those platforms. Whew, that was a lot. So with that said, joining myself because Ben couldn't make it, but joining me for this video is our good friend, and even though we've had other people come along, he is still a colleague of ours. Please welcome, from Week Zero Productions and from the voice of college football Notre Dame, the one, the only, Ryan Fravel. Welcome back to the show, Ryan. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been way too long, man. Appreciate you having me on. Because I told you before, love the new graphics, love the rebrand, love everything you got going on right now. Happy to be back, man.
Well, the key was to eventually get you back on for an episode sometime, but just, with it being the holiday season, things don't always exactly align the way you want them to. But the bottom line is you're back now. You're here at this moment. Let's start talking. And I know our friend Tanner will definitely appreciate your comments on the graphics and stuff. He's done a really good job. But getting right into things. We were talking about this before we started filming, but you guys on the other shows that you do, you went viral for something.
Yeah.
You got to explain it to the people.
So it's what was it? My mom always used to say, because growing up, I always wanted to be in this business, right? Of being a podcaster, radio guy, sports talk guy. No such thing as bad publicity, right? Well, we did our live reaction, a live stream. You can find it on the Voice of College Football Notre Dame. We did our live reaction to the final rankings, and it was just raw, flat out emotional reaction. And let's just say it was a crash out on my end. Things got thrown, things got punched. My hand hurt for a couple of days after that. There was some, vulgarity, obscenities yelled in that. My buddy, naturally, my buddy Sean, he said his obscenity and then just looked depressed the entire rest of the clip. And, Barstool Sports picked it up. Unnecessary Roughness on Twitter picked it up. The Dan Lebitard show played it live on air. And ironically enough, we didn't get credited for it by Barstool. We didn't get credited for it by, other people, but the Dan Lebitard show, a Miami show of all places, gave us the credit that we wanted. So shout out to them. But yeah, and that went insane viral. My mom, who isn't social media savvy, said, "Hey, your aunt was on TikTok and you guys are all over TikTok."
That's how you found out.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I watched the TikTok video, has like 120,000 views, like 15,000 likes. I saw the Barstool Sports reposted it twice. And yeah, man, it was insane. And it's still to this day, we're still getting viewership over there because of it. Not my best moment,
but worse by other people.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? I get it. It is what it is. It was a emotional reaction. I'm sure if you had cameras on the wall of every Notre Dame fan that Sunday morning when that happened, I'm sure you would probably see and hear a lot worse than what you heard and saw on camera that day.
Well, let me just say this first. So Dave Portnoy personally plays your video, your clip of that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So he can't even acknowledge you guys by name, and yet we all have watched his pizza videos how many times? Man, send some love. At least, even if it's to make fun of you, at least give a name drop. Come on.
Yeah. It was kind of annoying a little bit. Ironically enough, on Twitter/X, they do this thing now where if you repost a video from somebody else, it credits them with it. When Barstool reposted it, they reposted it because a Miami fan posted it. And so it credited the Miami fan with the video, even though it was a Notre Dame podcast.
It's a dirty ass monopoly.
Yeah, I made sure to tag on there. I was like, hey, we need credit for this. This is our podcast. And, it was, I had some people find it and people in the comments of that show after it had aired. And they're like, hey, man, I found you on X. I found you off of Barstool. Hey, we've been looking for you guys. This is hilarious. Like, and I'm like, yeah, hey, man, I love it. You want to troll us? You want to talk crap? Hey, if it gives up the views, go ahead. I had a guy actually give a couple of super chats that next show just to talk crap about Notre Dame. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, you can talk crap about Notre Dame all you want as long as you send money. I don't care.
So this guy actually paid some fans of a team he hates just to be able to insult him.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, what an idiot! I'm sorry. I'm not gonna pay a. That'd be like me paying. That'd be like me paying Paul Feinbaum after he
yeah.
The name. I'm not paying him shit.
That's way. But hey, if you want to pay me to talk crap about Notre Dame, cool, man. Like, hey,
listen. I say this to everybody: take a fool's money. Take a fool's money. They deserve it.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess when I did it, I was too tame because I was going live for the final rankings too. But here's the difference. I guess as soon as I saw Alabama pop up and they hadn't dropped a spot, I was already kind of prepared for it. So I guess, I was too tame. Otherwise,
I remember watching it and I was kind of like, I watched it I was expecting you to, because you're one of our more passionate fans. You call out people, for being quote unquote realists and not be, staying on the bandwagon when things are tough. I was I was surprised with how tame you were.
I guess, like I said, as soon as I saw Alabama pop up and they hadn't dropped a spot, it all clicked what was going on. It was the SEC bias by ESPN. They got to keep in another SEC team, but also they made it happen to where the tiebreaker came into place. So they killed two birds with one stone. So it just all instantly clicked with me right there that this is what they're trying to do, or this is what they did, I should say.
Yeah.
So, but aside from all of our fan reactions, because believe me, we still get the hate even with the rebrand. People like to come on and mouth off, but we should be used to that. You can't fight everybody, as sad as it is. Because any idiot with a keyboard unfortunately has that kind of power. But yeah, let's talk about what's been going on so far, last night and today. And I don't care if I get called cocky for this, but let me just say this. So many fans from these teams, like mostly Miami, haven't really heard much from Alabama, but then again, maybe I'm not looking in the right places here. They're still talking all this shit towards Notre Dame. Now, you pointed this out to me about after Miami won today over A&M, which was a very crappy game. I thought we had kicking problems. My God. the first thing they do when they come in the locker room is make a video, the players that is, talking shit towards Notre Dame or towards Jeremiah Love in particular. Do we really, even though we're not there, do we really live that rent-free in these people's heads? I mean, my God. And then in addition to that, I just have to say this. This might be where the arrogance comes into play, the cockiness of being a Notre Dame fan. But one, as far as we progressed as a team, we definitely would have beaten either one of those teams today. And even last night, we would have beaten Oklahoma and Alabama. I'm very confident of that. And also, let me just say this. Just because you got in and you're winning now doesn't mean that you deserve your spot. There's a big difference there.
Yeah, I saw people make the argument of, well, Alabama won and Miami won, so that means that the committee got it right.
No.
And I was like, no, that's not how this works. Like,
you can win now that you're in the bracket, that you're in the field, but that doesn't mean you deserve your spot. Okay? Them putting Alabama in there was wrong, and that doesn't change just because they ended up beating Oklahoma.
Yeah, and if you watch that game, like, I'll be honest, I don't know about you, but me personally, at the end of the day, I was more mad about the fact that about Alabama being in, because I personally felt like Notre Dame and Miami were teams that deserved to be in over Alabama. And I even, to an extent, thought Notre Dame and Miami were better teams than Alabama and Oklahoma. Right? I thought the whole thing that ESPN was trying to make it the last 6 weeks was they were trying to make it a Notre Dame Miami thing. And I think us as fans, we got caught up in that and we fell for it and got manipulated into thinking that's what the argument should have been. When I think the argument should have always been Notre Dame and Miami versus Alabama and Oklahoma. And unfortunately, ironically enough, it was a Miami fan that kind of reached out with the olive branch right after the SEC championship game. And he tagged me and he goes, "Hey man, instead of us fighting each other, what we really should be doing is standing together in unison against the SEC bias." And I was like, yeah, but it's a little too late now. We got 12 hours until the selection show to kind of get the campaign. But man, you heard ESPN on this smear campaign against Notre Dame for the past 6 weeks. It's to the point where I don't know about you. I haven't actually sat and watched any of the playoff games to this point. Because to me, it's going to sound childish, but I honestly don't care. I'm boycotting ESPN in the playoff this year because I do feel like it's a disingenuous playoff. It's not a real playoff because you left a team out that legitimately could win the national title. Like, this isn't like previous years, Sean, where Notre Dame made it, but even though us as fans all thought, yeah, Notre Dame could win it, there's more than just that feeling with this team. I felt like this team, especially with the path we would have been given, which is either the 8 or 9 or even the 10 seed.
Yeah.
Notre Dame was making it at the very least to the semifinals this year.
I think so. There's definitely a very good chance of that.
And that's the thing that makes me feel like this thing is, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, right? I'm not ever one of those people, right? But this whole thing reeked of corruption, collusion, any other big C word you can think of. The way it looks. And
they couldn't make it any obvious how it looked.
Yeah, like
exactly how it looked.
Like, you can't tell me that ESPN ESPN pays $8 billion a year for the exclusive rights to the playoff. They have the biggest media deal with the SEC. They have a media deal with the ACC. Who are the two entities they don't have a deal with? Notre Dame in the Big Ten. So if a push comes to shove, who are they going to screw over? Whichever teams don't benefit them.
It all goes down to this classic saying, follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Follow the money. You just pointed out that's who their allegiances are. You said it all right there in a nutshell.
And you can't. And the thing that it ticked me off more the days afterwards, right, when ESPN was then smearing us again because we decided not to play in a meaningless bowl game, which, by the way, you know why they're doing that, because we just cost them $50 million for not playing in a Pop-Tarts bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
why okay, you don't want to see us in the playoffs. All these non-Notre Dame fans are celebrating that, but yet these same people want to see us in the Pop-Tarts bowl. What do you care if we don't play in a postseason bowl game or not? Why do you care? And nobody gives a straight answer on that. Just like the people that, the parrots that are always like, join a conference, join a conference. I asked them a serious question. Why do you want us in one so bad? They never give a legit answer. They just say, you need to join a conference, play tougher competition. I guess that's the closest answer they've given. But okay. So we would join. Let's say we were in the ACC full time. Let's say we gave them what they wanted, and we won it this year. Went 10-2, won the ACC championship, and made the playoffs. You know what they would then be saying? And I've said this a million times, I know. But they would then be saying, oh, well, the only reason you guys made it is because you played in a weak conference.
Yep.
So and this is, I've said this a million times, but it's true. When it comes to Notre Dame, the fans, the committee, whoever, they will always move the goalpost.
Yeah, we get held to a different standard than everybody else does, and the SEC doesn't play by those rules. It's disgusting, right? Like, I think it's one of those things where, and I don't know how you feel about it. I didn't get to see watch you and Ben talk about the bowl stuff. I personally, when it first came out that Notre Dame wasn't going to play in the bowl game, and you can go back and watch our stream, I actually was so teed off that I said on the live stream, don't play the bowl game. Screw it. Screw ESPN. Screw the ACC. Screw everybody. Don't play the bowl game. Don't give those. Don't. Yeah. Like, and I'll be honest. Like, and then I kind of thought about it, and there were people in the group chat that were like, "Well, it looks soft. It looks like you took your ball and went home. It looks like you're pouting because you didn't get your way, and you're quitting." And after like the first couple hours, like, I kind of get where that looks that way. And then you hear the story from Pete Bavacqua, our athletic director, that no, it was a consensus decision by the players. It was a unanimous decision where they had a players only meeting, and everybody on the team's like, we don't want to play in this bowl game. Like, we just got our heart ripped out. Jeremiah Love and Price aren't going to play. Fields isn't going to play. A lot of the guys on the team are going to opt out for injury reasons. And they made a team decision, went to Freeman's office and the athletic director's office and said, hey, we respectfully do not want to play in this game. We don't feel like it would be a proper representation of what this team, how good this team is, and what this team accomplished this year. The team that would go out there and play against BYU would not be the 2025 Notre Dame football team. It would be an unrecognizable team.
Yeah, you would have nothing against them because the backups came in at times and played pretty well, but you're just going to have a bunch of guys that are backups and ones who are looking to hit the transfer portal playing.
Yeah. And
that's not a dog on my own team. It's just a fact of what it would have been.
Like, and it's a lose-lose situation. If Notre Dame wins that game with their backups, that's not going to change anything. Anybody's percent. Like, you're not in the playoff. It doesn't make you all of a sudden in the playoff. Like, you could say, well, we beat BYU, we deserve to be in. But then on the same tune, if you go out there and you lose because you don't have half your team, then people will say, well, see, this is why Notre Dame shouldn't have been in. Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
You can't win. When it's Notre Dame, you can't win. And listen, even if Notre Dame did everything that people asked of them, it's not going to change the haters' minds. Like these people that come on our videos all the time and leave what they think is original content, like original hate content towards Notre Dame. Do you think they're going to start respecting Notre Dame if they were to join a conference, for example? No. It's not going to change anything. They're not going to just instantly start getting respect from the haters because they do what they ask them to do.
Like Sean, we played in a bowl. We played in the Sun Bowl back in 2023. We beat the brakes off of a top 25 team. We won our 10th game that year. Nobody cared that we did that.
No.
Like, it was cool. You won the freaking Sun Bowl. Like, congratulations. And think about it this way, Sean, you and me both played high school sports. We both played football, right? We know what it was like to be a part of a team and that brotherhood, right? Regardless if you were the star player or you were the guy that was, the water boy, regardless of whatever that was, being a part of something like that helps you understand the decision of why they didn't want to play the bowl game. They got strung along for 6 weeks by these BS ESPN ranking shows that were basically telling them, hey, you're in the playoff. As long as you win, you're in. And they did nothing but not only win, they dominated people. They won by an average margin of 30 points a game. The best in the country and it wasn't even close, right?
Right.
Like,
in addition to that, Ryan, the people like to dog our schedule all the time, say that we play nobody, it's a weak schedule. Well, first off, a lot of teams that we schedule are several years in advance, and it's not like we know they're going to fall off. But since a lot of these teams did fall off, and I'm not talking about our rivalries, I'm talking about the other ones, but still, I guess it doesn't matter. Rivalry, non-rival, whatever, doesn't matter. We still did what we were supposed to do with the schedule like that, and we dominated it.
Yeah, we could have done what other teams did. We could have done what Alabama did against Auburn and just go out there and play like dog crap against bad teams for the last month of the season, but we didn't. We put 70 points on a team. We put 70 points on a Power 4 team, and I get it. Syracuse is god-awful, right? They're terrible. But you had Alabama that same weekend play Eastern Illinois, which is a pay-to-win game, and they only scored 49. Like,
yeah,
it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, did we have the toughest schedule? No. But we did. When you play bad teams, what are you supposed to do to those bad teams if you are
business
and beat the absolute dog crap out of them?
Yes.
We did that. And half the time we weren't really trying. We pulled guys in the second half. Meanwhile, Miami, when playing those same teams, was struggling in the first half, and kept their starters in the entire game, calling timeouts with 24 seconds left to take a shot at the end zone to make the score look better. Like,
after this video is uploaded, some mouthy Miami fan is going to take issue with that.
Yeah, like it is what it is. And again, like, goes back to the ACC point. The ACC doesn't help us because they decide what ACC teams we get to play.
Yeah, that schedule's already made out for the rest of the contract that we have with them.
Like, why do you think they make us play the bottom feeders of the conference? For revenue purposes. Why do they make us go to Boston College? Why do they make us go to Syracuse? Why do they make us go to North Carolina? Because our fans travel. We buy tickets. We sell out those stadiums more than they do by themselves.
Miami's in the playoffs as much as I hate saying that, just because they're jerk off fans. They can't even sell out their own stadium
unless Notre Dame's coming to town.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my point. When Notre Dame came to Miami, that place was packed.
Dude, I was at the game this year.
You look at that other places against other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Stadiums, Hard Rock's not even packed.
I was at the game this year, and I was, trolling Miami fans all off. So you guys don't have a home field advantage, and I had Notre Dame fans who were at the game in 2017 said, "No, man, it's different when they play Notre Dame. We're their Super Bowl. They always pack out the Hard Rock when Notre Dame comes to town. It's the only time they do it." And I'm like, that was 2017. It's not going to be nothing. That stadium's crazy. Like that was. I've been to Texas A&M. I've been to Autzen Stadium at Oregon. I've been to Death Valley, Clemson. It wasn't better than A&M or Clemson, but it was up there. Like it was a pretty hostile environment from what I could tell. And the humidity, all that stuff. Like, again, I just think it's so dumb that we do this stuff for this conference that they use us to prop up and to pay the teams, the lower tier teams in their conference. And all it does is hurt us in terms of our strength of schedule, how people view our schedule. Like the fact that we had a better strength of schedule when we were a full independent than we are having a relationship with a conference. Like, let that sink in. And for all the conference people like you talked about, I got into it with BYU fans a couple months ago because they were talking. They're like, you guys are just scared to join a conference. BYU, at least we joined a conference. We got rid of being independent. I said, you know why you got rid of being independent? You had the same luxuries as Notre Dame did with your being able to build your own schedule. The only thing you didn't have that we had was you didn't have an NBC contract. But everything else, you had the same advantages we did. Why weren't you ever in the playoff as an independent? Why weren't you ever 12-0? Why weren't you ever able to go 10 and 11, 10 and 2, 11 and 1? Why? When then you ask that question and they go silent.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, ironically enough, you guys are doing better as a football program now that you joined a conference. I wonder why. Maybe because the competition in said conference is terrible.
You look at maybe the SEC is the only exception because there are a lot of good teams. But you look at the Big Ten, of course, the ACC and the Big 12. I mean, really, outside of a few teams, the rest is all average at best.
Yeah, it's not.
But we have to join a conference to beat up on their bottom feeders just to prove something. No, screw all the conference obsessed morons. It's like conferences are becoming a cult to these people.
Yeah.
The conference is their Jim Jones. They are the followers. The conference tells them jump. They ask how high.
Yeah.
I mean, this obsession with conferences. I mean, listen, even if Notre Dame were to join one full time, I don't care. I really don't. Because it doesn't matter, independent or conference. My loyalty is to Notre Dame, not the conference.
And I don't get this whole, like, you get SEC and Big Ten fans that'll say, if you guys were in the Big Ten or SEC, you guys would be 8-4 every year. I'm like, okay, excuse me. Indiana went 11-1 last year because they only played one good team. I'm pretty sure Notre Dame could do that with that schedule. Like, I'm pretty sure we would be atop of the conference pretty much every single year. The SEC, like, we just beat the crap out of your champion last year on national TV, and we had 7 starters out, and we beat the crap out of them in the Sugar Bowl. Like, Marcus Freeman, since he's been here, we're 5-1 against the SEC. Our only loss coming against A&M, where we had a botched snap on a PAT and a missed holding call. Like,
well, and to be fair on that, I always like to clarify this.
Yeah,
that game wasn't all Buckner's fault for that one.
It was not. No,
we had several chances to put that game away before it even came to that, and we couldn't do it. So go ahead, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we saw what we did to Arkansas this year. Like, and Arkansas, it seemed like every other top 10, top 15 team that Arkansas played in the SEC, they pushed them to the brink. And well, you know what the excuse for that, Sean, is? Well, see, when you play in a conference, those games mean more. Like, it's harder to win. I'm like, so it's harder to beat a 2-win Arkansas team that Notre Dame beat by 43 simply because they have a patch on their jersey that says SEC on it.
You know why they say that crap? It's because they know that what they're saying is full of shit, and they don't even believe it themselves. But they're trying to believe their own lies that they tell them. I've been doing YouTube and podcasting long enough to sniff that crap out.
Yeah, it's so hard to beat Arkansas, man. Sean, it must be. It's only hard for the SEC teams, but man, is it hard? But yeah, like in the whole, well, if you guys had to play a conference schedule week to week to week to week, I'm like, I feel like people underestimate how hard it is to not be in a conference and you play different teams from different conferences every week. Teams that Notre Dame hasn't seen before.
Well, and I've said this many times before with Notre Dame, they're not playing in a conference leaves so little room for error. Like, we're allowed to lose one game max, maybe two. This year proves it. Maybe two, but even two is too much. There's so little room for error in being an independent. It's ridiculous. Because obviously a conference, yeah, you can make it up. You can make that comeback. It's easier to make that comeback. Not so much as an independent. So this is what I always say. Why don't the conference-obsessed parrots advocate for us not joining a conference?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I do think eventually it's going to get to that point where Notre Dame does join a conference, but I think it's going to be maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, but I think that's going to be Notre Dame's decision, right? I think because eventually and after this whole conundrum, I think you see the writing on the wall, right? With how corrupt this thing's going, where it's going to be an SEC and Big Ten controlled playoff. And what did Freeman always say about being independent? Notre Dame is going to stay independent and we're going to protect our independence until the point where we aren't in a fair position to be able to compete for national championships. And I feel like this year was an indication that we're heading that direction.
Well, and it's just a fact too, with the way the college football landscape is changing, your hand might be forced. And like I said before, if it does happen where Notre Dame becomes a full member of a conference, ACC or otherwise, it doesn't matter. My loyalty will always strictly remain to Notre Dame.
I'm not defending a conference. Yeah, no. If we do ever join a conference, Sean, I will not be one of those people that's an SEC or Big Ten parrot that says, hey, man, you know what? Northwestern's a really good team. They might be 6-6, but man, can they play football? Like, no, it's go Irish, screw everybody else. I don't care if we're in the same conference. I have no loyalty to you or to protect you.
We just happen to be here.
Yeah, like, but I do find it hilarious when all the stuff with the ACC came out, and I was just kind of putting a thought out there. I was like, hey, if Notre Dame does join a conference, which one would you rather it be, the SEC or Big Ten? Personally, I think the Big Ten would be the best decision because you get the homemade rivalries with USC, Michigan State, Purdue. Maybe you could start a series with Indiana now that Indiana's good, right? And I was like, I had Big Ten and SEC fans comment on that. No, we don't want you in our conference. No, just go somewhere. I'm like, I'm like, dude, you want us to join a conference? Why don't? But now you don't want us in your conference. Like,
the haters are stupid. That's what it is. So they just went right back to the 1920s. He tried joining the Big Ten like 3 times. One for sure. Fielding Yost is the one who president of Michigan at the time, he's the one who said no. Didn't want a Catholic university in there. And then I forget the other couple times, but I think actually I take that back. I think the Big Ten came calling us in '99. And then I'm pretty sure there was a third time in there as well, but I could be wrong. But all I know is the fact is we tried joining that conference that eventually became the Big Ten, and they screwed it up, not us.
Yeah, no, I just found that so hilarious. And then I had SEC fans saying, well, you can't join the SEC, like it doesn't make sense in terms of geographically. And I'm like, we have Stanford and Cal in the ACC. I think we're past. It doesn't make sense geographically, right? Yeah. Like we have private jets. We have private planes. Like I'm sure they'd make it work. You have Missouri. Missouri is in the SEC. I don't think it's that big of a difference, right?
No, not really.
And they're like, well, coming up with excuses why they don't want Notre Dame in. And I said, okay. They're like, well, why would you want to join the SEC as a Notre Dame fan? I'm like, if we're going to join a conference, we're Notre Dame. We're not joining the two worst. We would want to join the two best conferences.
I mean, what? I thought you guys had the best competition. Why wouldn't we want to play the best competition? Yeah, some of these people that comment, I mean, there needs to be an IQ test for commenting on open forums. There needs to be. Because I've heard some of the dumbest shit in my time here since I started.
Am I wrong for saying, hey, if we're forced to join a conference, you might as well join the best, play the best? Like, I think that would be a common, because what would be the saying if we went to the Big 12 or the ACC? Oh, well, no, look, they finally joined a conference and they joined the worst ones.
I'm telling you, dude, the haters will always move the goalpost. Always move the goalpost. I'm probably gonna have a T-shirt made up saying that with my picture on it. ND haters will move the goalpost. They always do. That's why
I love a good friend of mine who runs the Dose Leprechauns podcast. He came out with a shirt last year where it said Independence Conference Champions. And I wear that all the time now when we're going to it's awesome.
Is there a fake score of it with us against UConn?
No, it's just I need to tell him to put that on there. You know what? If we do stay independent, could you imagine on conference championship weekend, Notre Dame and UConn just say, hey, 13th data point, right? Why don't we line it up?
Speaking of that, Ryan, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who's a Notre Dame fan at work, and he's so disgusted now with what Pete Bavacqua did, calling out the ACC and all that, which I don't think Pete Bavacqua really said anything that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was reasonable, and but that anyway, we're past that. But did you hear any rumor about Vanderbilt reaching out to us wanting to play a 13th game?
There was a rumor. I don't know exactly. I know Vanderbilt was trying to play a game. I heard rumors that it was Miami, and I heard rumors that it was Notre Dame. And nothing. They couldn't get it to come together quick enough.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if there was any truth to that or not.
Yeah, it's still a rumor, so I don't know if that's confirmed or not. But I do know for a fact that Vanderbilt was trying to play a 13th game. Who against was speculated that it was Miami, Notre Dame. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, man, I mean, and to kind of touch on that point too with the ACC stuff, I don't know how you feel about it. I kind of feel like it ticked me off immediately after not ticked me off. I was excited when they announced the press conference for that week. And I'm thinking, oh, that's big news. You don't just schedule an emergency press conference and not say anything or do anything, right? That's typically something you do. It's an emergency, right? And instead, to me, it's just sounded like a lot of whining and complaining and the same stuff we heard Pete talk about the few days prior on all these shows. And I'm like, I'm sitting there watching it, and people on the live chat are like screaming, okay, Pete, I get it. We're mad. We didn't get in. We felt like we got slighted. Okay, what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? What? Tell me what we're doing to fix this. And instead, it's just kind of a lot of politician speak, coach speak, and like, well, dancing around. Yeah, and I'm like, and I get it. And then I had some of my buddies who are more, what do you call it, business savvy, so to speak, talking to me about it. Like, man, like, what did you expect? He used to be a lawyer. He's a businessman. We can't. These people, his type of people, don't come out and say, screw the ACC. We're leaving they do that stuff in the background, in the shadows. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's just, as a fan, you don't want to hear, hey man, we're upset. The ACC, we didn't agree with I want to hear, what's the plan? What are we doing moving forward so that we don't get screwed again? And how are we going to go about accomplishing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. But to just criticize Bavacqua for even saying anything in the first place, no, he had every right to say something and call out the obvious. And here's my thing. If it was any other team, nobody would care. But since it's Notre Dame, yeah, they're the ones that get called the crybabies and whatnot. It's a double.
Yeah, well, Alabama did the same shit last year. If you remember, with SMU and Indiana, we had to listen to that for a month from Alabama fans. Yeah, until they got humbled.
Because they have been winning recently in recent history. They can. We can't.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's a double standard, and it's just Notre Dame hate that people don't want to admit.
Yeah. No, I will say this. I'm only 25, but I cannot remember a time in my lifetime. You might be able to, Sean. I can't remember a time.
Next month.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Go ahead.
I can't remember a time in my life where there has been this much public outrage towards Notre Dame. Like, I've always known that there's the hatred. Like, I've had my mom, my grandparents explain that to me growing up as a Notre Dame fan. Like, people hate us. Like, there's this
point. It's to the point where the gatekeeping is going on. Like, but and what that means is, the haters that say, well, did you go to Notre Dame? Let me see your Notre Dame degree. We got that a lot with Indiana fans last year.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, I know it's to screw with us. I know it's to screw with us and just them to have a cheap laugh. But I think there's some of them that actually believe that. These gatekeepers that do that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's dumb, but like I said, I don't remember there being ever this much public outcry.
Well,
to the point where, like, you have ESPN, a network, hating on you like that. It's just weird.
Social media has opened up that floodgate.
Like, I almost wish I could go back. I could go in a time machine, right? Go back to 1988 when Notre Dame won their 11th national championship, and see what the media coverage of Notre Dame was back then. Did people hate us as much as they do now? Like, what was that like? Obviously, it was different. You didn't have social media. I imagine back then it was a lot of stuff on TV and newspapers, right? But it's like, it makes you wonder what that would have been like. Like, when we were winning championships, did people hate us as much?
I think, I don't know. I mean, because back then it was a lot of, like you said, a lot of newspapers, maybe a lot of local media shows.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it all boils down to. That's the difference. We have social media now. Everybody can have a voice, even if they're not very educated people.
We need to, make the internet more expensive.
Well, I think so, because when you have people, listen, let me put it to you this way. When you have people like who talk in slang a lot,
yeah,
like, what's up with that, man? When they actually spell out the slang, that's when you know there's a problem.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, hey, listen, Ryan. I think we covered a lot. I didn't think we'd
We
actually
did.
go 45 minutes, but yeah, the Bears are on right now, and I can already tell there's going to be a lot of favoritism towards Jordan Love.
Mm.
So I think this is a good place to call it quits. But thank you so much for coming on. I mean, we could have gone for 2 hours.
Yeah, we could have. I'm sorry for
There's so
taking
much-
it for too long, but it's been a while since we've hopped on. But
I
I got
invited you.
yeah,
I
got
wanted you. I wanted you to come on. I wanted to talk to you. It's the only unfortunate thing is Ben couldn't make it. Like I said,
yeah, and Ben, sending my my regards, man. Hope I get to see you soon. But yeah, I'm watching the Illinois State playoff game right now. Go Redbirds, by the way. Playing for a chance for the FCS national championship. So you got your Bears. I got my Redbirds, but
it looks like
it's been nice.
the Bears just made a red zone stop against Green Bay. So
Ooh.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. A chance to clinch a playoff berth this weekend.
Hey, hopefully it's not the Indiana Bears soon.
Even if they do move, they're not going to be called the Indiana Bears. So many people think that. I mean, geez, the New York Jets and the New York Giants, they don't even play in the state of New York. They play in New Jersey. They're not the New Jersey.
Dude, I thought it would be hilarious, the names that people were coming up.
I know.
The Gary, Indiana Bears, or the South Bend Bears. It's like
it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not the Arlington Cowboys or the Santa Clara 49ers or the Foxborough Patriots. Whatever. Keep going on and on about it.
Oh, man.
But anyway, with that said, Ryan, I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. The same goes out to all of you who take the time to watch our show. And so with that said, I'm Sean Moriarty.
And I'm Ryan Fravel.
And again, guys, make sure you go check out Ryan, Week Zero Productions, and the voice of college football, Notre Dame. And as we always say, every video, good night, God bless, and go Irish.